welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could say good afternoon to you, but all across the country there is a period of extended mourning as more and more people come to know about the sad demise of Mr. Ratan Tata, the corporate icon of India. People of all hues are paying their respects to him at the NCPA grounds. There you see Dr. Shantikanta Das, the governor of Reserve Bank of India, paying his respects to Mr. Ratan Tata. Mr. Tata was also on the governing board of the Reserve Bank of India. Apart from that, luminaries from corporate India, whether that's Mr. Ambani, whether Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, there you see him. Mr. Anand Mahindra, from the political landscape, Mr. Sharad Pawar, everybody who admired Mr. Tata and is able to reach the NCPA grounds at Nariman Point is doing so. The final rites will take place at 4 p.m. at Worli Crematorium, about 3 kilometers away from Nariman Point. That's Mr. Chandrasekharan for you, on the left of Mr. Shaktikanta Das, and this is a very somber mood that has not only enveloped all of Mumbai House, but also all of India. Politicians, sports people, celebrities, of course all of corporate India, and vast people from all walks of life, especially the Tata Group, which employs about 10 lakh people, are in a state of mourning. From the Prime Minister to the President to all corporate icons, the entire media fraternity is right there at NCPA bidding farewell to the country's finest son. It's very, very difficult to sort of understand that Mr. Tata is no more, and corporate India especially feels orphaned. What we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, we'll head back to the markets. This is what we do best, and we'll keep you posted on what's happening at the NCPA grounds. The Nifty on its weekly expiry day, ladies and gentlemen, is holding with complete strength the 25,000 rupee level as far as the support is concerned. Today's high was 25,134, and this kind of a move on the weekly expiry day, when it's a range bound trade, is more or less expected. There are vast parts of the market which are undergoing sectoral churn, and both in terms of booking profit and fresh entries. Look at the Bank Nifty on its fresh weekly expiry day. You have the Bank Nifty up 622 points at 51,620. At the same time, there is profit booking happening on the Nifty Mid Cap 100, down about 0.33%, 220 points. Down on the Pharma Index, down about 2.6%. The IT Index down about 1%, and the Mid Cap Select Index slipping 0.5% lower. That's the broader framework of the market on this very somber day for corporate India. Amongst the Tata Group stocks, there is this element of strength that has been observed. The top performing stock in terms of percentage gains is Tata Invest, which is the holding company of the group. I saw it up 8% in the morning, 7,065. You have Tata Tele Maharashtra, the telecom arm, up 6%. Tata Chemicals up 4.5%. Tata LXC adding 2.5%. Of the 23 Tata stocks that I track, about 16 of them are in the green. Mr. Tata had retired from active management of his companies since 2012. So there isn't any problem in terms of handing over the baton, but this is truly a sad day. We have with us Mr. Daljit Kohli, a very long-term observer of the market. He's the head of equity at Roha Asset Managers LLP. Namaste Daljit ji. A very sad day to welcome you, but such is life. Mr. Tata is no more with us. Would you want to sort of comment on the legacy that the Tata Group has on stock markets, in particular TCS?
Good afternoon, Chairman. No, I think yes, it is a very sad day for all Indians. Everybody who has heard, known about Tata Group, they all understand, and it's very rare that actually when such a big conglomerate, head of such a big conglomerate goes away, people at the behind him talk only about his integrity, his honesty, his goodness to the humanity. No, nobody is talking. नॉर्मली क्या होता है, एक रिच मैन चला गया, उसके बारे में बात करते हैं. यहाँ पर रिच की बात नहीं हो रही. यहाँ पर पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हाउ ग्रेट पर्सन वाज, हाउ द पर्सन वाज, हाउ ग्रेट, what kind of work philanthropy he has done for all kinds of people, from very, very downtrodden people, from health, education, everywhere we have seen. So I think the key thing which one should remember from this, and I can just relate this to something from Guru Nanak's teaching, that Guru Nanak had this three important pillars of teaching: Naam Japo, One Chako, Kirt Karo, and One Chako. Basically, chant the name of the God, do the hard work, and whatever you gain, you should spread it amongst your community. I think that is what basically Mr. Tata has shown us, that he is without compromising on any integrity issues, without compromising on profitability. He has been able to do so much of good work for the humanity. So people who say that how do we do if I sacrifice profits for doing good for the humanity, where will my shareholders go? Where will my wealth creation happen? Here is the person who has shown, despite all the good work, despite spending so much on other activities, they have shown that actually wealth can be created. And we have seen everybody who has invested in data companies, what kind of wealth people have created. So I think this is what basic learning is, that doing good work has no bounds, no leaps. You just have to have that mindset, and if you are clear on that, with your business, within that realm of things, you can do those things. So I think it's a sad day, but it is also a good day, that we need to celebrate such kind of celebrity, that he has created such a big empire. Whatever he has left, that itself should be an inspiration for everyone.
Absolutely. I think after the PSU setup in terms of market capitalization, the Tata Group of 25 listed companies is India's most valuable group in terms of market capitalization. Their flagship TCS, whose second quarter earnings are today, is India's second most profitable company in terms of market capitalization of about 15 lakh crore rupees. And of course, all of us, generations of Indians, have grown on Tata Steel, on Tata Motors, on so many other group companies such as Voltas, Tata Tea, so many of them which have been on the landscape of not only corporate India but also pre-independence India. And all this huge wealth has had just one purpose, which is to do good. And by doing good, Mr. Tata has left a legacy, which essentially means that once you start doing good, then the goodness returns in a manner that creates more wealth, and more wealth is there to distribute. And once there is more wealth to distribute, then more wealth gets created. It's a virtuous cycle which the Tata Group personified so well, that the top owners of all Tata Group companies are Tata Trusts, which in turns have a philanthropic outlook in life. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the markets. Daljit ji, we welcome you at a time when there is a lot of volatility in the market. Just same time last week we were celebrating a record high on the Nifty, and here is a very, very sharp sell off that has come in. This is a great opportunity for stock pickers such as you to advance their stock picking skills. So what have you done? Let me just intrude upon your time. This is Mr. and Mrs. Mukesh Ambani, along with Minister Mr. Piyush Goyal, who are now at the NCPA. On the left, you see Mr. Noel Tata. This is the Ambani family that has come to pay respects to Mr. Ratan Tata, and this is what you see on the screen. That's Mrs. Ambani for you. That's Akash Ambani and his better half with him at the NCPA grounds, offering their tributes to Mr. Ratan Tata. We'll keep on revisiting the NCPA grounds, but Daljit ji, my apologies, I interrupted midway. Please continue, sir.
So, Shailendra we have not added too many things here because in any case, this we think that market construct is still the positive side. There is no major change or there is no, we are not expecting any big reversal coming here. Yes, in bull market, there will be corrections and normally we have seen that those corrections are sharp, they are shallow and sharp. So, which last week we have seen some of them and they are vulnerable. So if you are at the highest point, obviously you are vulnerable to news flows, what is happening globally, what is happening relative to your country. Now suddenly this trade of China coming in and all of that. So we were expecting that this kind of some turmoil will happen, but that doesn't demand any change in our long-term strategy. So we have not made any or tweaked any major changes. In fact, because of the fall and if we have some cashes available in some of the portfolios, we have just tanked up those same stocks. So the sectors that we continue to like, that we have been holding for last 1.5 years, are pharma and agrochemical. We believe that these two sectors, they have yet very long way to go. Mainly agrochemical because the cycle is turning around. This last 2 years have been quite bad for them. The destocking, inventory problems, China issues, all those are probably now behind. And in case of pharma, the approvals coming, the new product launches coming, and the companies have tightened their belt on the regulatory side. So we have seen actually a lot of positive news flow on the regulatory side for most of the pharma companies, which used to be the opposite few years back. So that has also helped the companies. Some of these stocks have already moved, but still we think that this is a sector where earning visibility is strong and there is a re-rating potential also.
Daljit ji, I'll request you to, in this kind of an environment, list the top 5 stocks which you think merit investment in the form of a SIP with a 2-3 year horizon for holding. Our viewers should benefit with your stock picking abilities and maybe some of these stocks that you've added in your own portfolio as well.
Shailendra how much I wish I could do that. It's just that the compliance requirements don't allow us to talk about stock specific. So please, apologies for this. I will not take the stock names, but as I said, the themes that we are playing and the sectors that we are playing, I spoke about pharma and agrochemical, and then the other theme that which we are liking and we find quite a few opportunities coming there is consumption theme. Consumption, especially in terms of both ends, luxury as well as the rural. So if you see last 3 years, rural has not performed at all. So many of these, I'm not talking about staples or FMCG normal company, but I'm talking of within those there are a lot of niche areas or things which are getting benefit from prosperity of rural areas. So if you see in this budget also government has talked about many new areas, no skilling, ESG, energy transition. So all those there are a lot of companies, and earlier these opportunities were also not available. Now there are many companies, newer companies which are coming into these areas. So one can look at those niche areas, and I think a lot of alpha generation will happen there.
अच्छा, दलजीत जी ऐसा करते हैं, मैं ज़रा अपने जो क्या कहते हैं वो डिटेक्टिव वर्क है उस पर काम करता हूँ. आप स्टॉक के नाम मत लीजिए, ये बात करते हैं कि आपके अपने पोर्टफोलियो में टॉप 5 स्टॉक्स कौन से हैं? चलिए ऐसे बात करते हैं, वो
राइट,
तो ले
सो
सकते हैं
हमारे,
आप ना।
हाँ, हमारे पोर्टफोलियो में जो स्टॉक्स हैं उसमें एक रियल एस्टेट से रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स हैं।
जी
तो जैसे कैपेसाइट है, सेंचुरी है, दे आर देयर, एंड देन वी हैव सम सोलर एनर्जी रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स। तो स्टर्लिंग विल्सन है, सानवी मूवर्स है। अभी एक हमने सिनर्जी ग्रीन करके कास्टिंग की कंपनी है, बहुत
जी।
छोटी कंपनी है, वो ऐड किया है उसमें वेरी रिसेंटली, राइट्स इशू वे एडेड। तो इस
माफ कीजिए,
तरीके से है।
दोबारा नाम लेंगे आप कास्टिंग कंपनी का?
सिनर्जी ग्रीन।
सिनर्जी ग्रीन।
यस।
अच्छा अच्छा, चलिए।
इट्स अ स्मॉल कंपनी, 700
जी
800 करोड़ मार्केट कैप। अभी उसका
बिल्कुल।
राइट्स इशू आया है, तो वी हैव अप्लाइड देयर। देन सो लाइक दिस वी आर प्लेइंग, एज आई सेड, वी प्ले नॉर्मली ऑन थीम्स, एंड विद इन द थीम हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं जो कंपनियां 1.5-2 हजार करोड़ मार्केट कैप की हैं वो हमारा
जी जी
स्वीट स्पॉट है, उनको हम
बिल्कुल।
ढूंढे। और वहां पर फिर अगले 2-3 साल में 25% से ज्यादा अगर अर्निंग्स आती हैं, then
हाँ
those companies have potential to make
जी
good numbers, good
बिल्कुल।
returns.
कोहली साहब, पिछली बार और अब जब आपसे मुलाकात हो रही है ऑन एयर, एक तब्दीली हुई है रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के स्टांस में, जहां पर अब अगले 2-1 महीने में शायद एक रेट कट आता हुआ दिखेगा। दो प्रश्न आपसे, इसका पूरे बाजार पर क्या असर पड़ेगा, और कौन से ऐसे 1-2 सेक्टर्स जो अनुकूल उपयोग कर पाएंगे इन रेट कट्स का?
सो अगर रेट कट आता है, जैसे प्रोबेबली दिसंबर के मार्केट पॉलिसी में शायद आ सकता है, जिस तरह का अभी अनुमान है, तो उसमें फिर कंजम्पशन रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स जैसे ऑटो, और या फिर हाई एंड लग्जरी की हमने बात की। एक हमारे पास स्टॉक है जो कार्स में डील करते हैं, हाई एंड कार्स में। तो वहां पर अगर हम देख सकते हैं कि कुछ बेनिफिट हमको दिखेगा, प्लस अगर ये रेट कट पास ऑन होगा तो इट विल मूव ऑन टू द एंटायर चेन। तो उसमें फिर आपका हाउसिंग फाइनेंस कंपनीज, और जितने भी रूरल कंजम्पशन की हमने बात की,
जी
तो वहां पर भी हमें बेनिफिट मिल सकता है। बट हमें ऐसा लगता है कि कंजम्पशन थीम एज इट इज भी प्ले करेगा। और आरबीआई का जो अगर रेट कट आया तो वो एक एक्स्ट्रा बेनिफिट होगा। नहीं भी हुआ या थोड़ा डिले हुआ तो उससे हमारा थीसिस में कोई इम्पैक्ट, फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। ओवरऑल मार्केट के लिए है कि एक्चुअली जब रेट कट होता है तो थोड़ा जो लैग इफेक्ट से बेनिफिट मिलता है बैंक्स को, तो उसका इम्पैक्ट नेगेटिव होता है फॉर 1 or 2 quarters फॉर द बैंक, क्योंकि उनको जो है वो रेट जब कट होते हैं तो वो जो लॉसेस जो है ऑलरेडी हेल्ड अप सिक्योरिटीज होती है, वहां पे लॉसेस होना शुरू होते हैं। तो इसके लिए ऐसा हम मानते हैं कि बैंकिंग सेक्टर में अभी थोड़ा समय और देना चाहिए,
जी
क्योंकि वहां पर एक तो डिपॉजिट के इश्यूज हैं, ग्रोथ के इश्यूज हैं, एसेट क्वालिटी के इश्यूज वापस थोड़ा थोड़ा दिख रहे हैं। तो अभी हमें लगता है कि अगले 6 महीने तक हम बैंकिंग एनबीएफसी सेक्टर को फिर भी थोड़ा देख सकते हैं। स्पेशली हमने अपने पोर्टफोलियो में एनबीएफसी जो पावर को देते हैं पैसा, उनको लिया है बजाय जनरल एनबीएफसी लेने के। तो
जी
हमारा मानना यह है कि रन ऑफ द मिल बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल्स को छोड़ दो, नीश एरियाज में जाओ, और नीश
जी
एरिया में पावर एक अच्छा एरिया है।
जी। दलजीत जी, बिफोर आपको नमस्कार करने से पहले, कौन सी आपने एनबीएफसी ऐड करी अपने पोर्टफोलियो में? माफ़ कीजिए, मैं उसका नाम नहीं पकड़ पाया।
सो हमारे पास आरईसी है इसमें,
जी जी
पावर फाइनेंसर्स में,
जी
बिकॉज वो सोलर का प्ले भी है और पावर सेक्टर का प्ले भी है, तो हमें लगता है
जी
कि दोनों जगह एक बहुत बड़ा ग्रोथ पॉसिबिलिटी।
जी जी। दलजीत जी, बहुत बहुत मेहरबानी, शुक्रिया आप हमारे साथ जुड़े, और अगली बार मुंबई में आपसे मुलाकात होगी, आप कभी दिल्ली तशरीफ़ लाएं तो दर्शन दीजिए।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome another guest, Prashant Tapse, research analyst at Mehta Equities, is joining us. Namaste, Prashant ji. बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका. Any two stocks on the technical charts which you feel are in the process of outperforming the broader markets? क्या लगता है बाजार, and your view on Nifty?
तो ओवरऑल निफ्टी पे व्यू आई थिंक अभी भी कुछ स्ट्रॉन्ग स्ट्रेंथ नहीं मिल रहा है मार्केट्स में, अनटिल अनलेस मार्केट क्लोजेस अबव 25,250 लेवल्स, my strength will be very weak in terms of the Nifty outperforming the current trends. But anything below 24,950 close today, we will again enter into a negative zone. Maybe because of selling pressure from the FIS again continuously from last 1 week. वो तो मेरा एक ट्रेड निफ्टी पे व्यू था बट if you ask me stocks again I like Exide Industries at current levels. I think coming earnings would be expected to be very good in terms of their profitabilities. So Exide can be one stock which I am looking at buying at these levels with a small stop loss of 495 and a target of 540 levels. So this is one stock. Second again, Granules is a stock which I am looking to buy right now, considering the pharma index to be very positive. And again, Q2 earnings in Granules can be better than expected. So my target would be 600, 610 as and when the results are out. So these are the two stocks on my radar.
चलिए ये दो राय आपको आती हुई दिख रही हैं. We'll just take a detour into the markets, ladies and gentlemen. On the weekly expiry day of the market, the Nifty is not doing anything at all, just lying quietly around the 25,000 point mark. What is really good is that it's held on to 25,000, which is a very big plus. Let's look at the stocks that are pulling the Nifty up. Banks and banks all the way. HDFC Bank up almost 2%, contributing 33 points. Kotak up 4.5%. That's really good, contributing 30 points. Axis Bank and ICICI Bank contributing 11 and 6 points respectively. And of course, Mahindra and Mahindra up 1.25% on the background of very heavy bookings of their SUV Thar Rocks is doing pretty well. What is pulling the Nifty lower, and one shouldn't be really worried at all, it's Infosys, Sun Pharma, Cipla. All three of them hit record highs yesterday. L&T a mild 6 points, and Reliance of course down 1/3%. Nothing to be worried about. This is the expiry day trade that is working out pretty well. Prashant, let's look at Mazgaon Dock. 8% higher. This is the top traded counter today with volumes of 3,035. Is this a move that might trigger a fresh rally at 44.18? What are your views on Mazgaon Dock? I'll also request the PCR to fire the longer term chart of Mazgaon. Let's look at the most recent low from which this stock has bounced back.
I think it was almost near 3,800. The stock has really rallied from that level. And there was a headlines in today's market with respect to some 80,000 crores worth of defense orders being released. So that can be one reason why these stocks are up, and Mazgaon Dock is up by almost 7-8%. So overall, we are entering into the earnings season, and again, defense stocks and railway stocks, these stocks are in action. Maybe on the anticipation of having a better than expected earnings versus Q1 and Q2. So I think that is the main reason. And with respect to technicals, again, I think the stock can rally up to 4,800 to 5,000 on or before the earnings show comes out.
Okay, so that's the view that is coming in on Mazgaon. The long-term chart is right there in front of you. 3 days ago, Mazgaon bottomed out possibly at 3,870 rupees, and from then on it's climbed all the way above the 21-day and the 50-day exponential moving average. This is looking to be good. The volume is also substantial. So far, as I have said, more than 3,000 crores have been traded. This is the highest volume since 4th of September, and we still have a half hour left in trade. Let's look at the F&O space. Profit booking on Lupin 5.5% lower. I wouldn't be worried at all. This was yesterday on a record high. Ambuja Cement slipping 4% lower. This is worrisome. Torrent Pharma from a record high slipping 3.5% lower. Cipla and Cholamandalam Finance. These are the top 5 stocks that have slipped in trade. In momentum on the long side are Tata Chemicals. This is the top performing stock future in the F&O space. Kotak 4.5% higher. Prashant, would you view Kotak's charts and tell us what this 4% move means for Kotak? It's a rare event for Kotak to rise 4.5%. Let's look at the chart. So it's a swing trade, bouncing from 200 DMA. Yes, Prashant.
I think the bounce is overall on the technical basis. Any resistance above 1900 can be a first resistance to look at and then trade it forward. I think upside is very limited. Again, 1920, 1940 can be a trading target for Kotak at this point of time.
Okay, I'll request the PCR to file maybe a 15-20 day chart, a 1 month chart on Kotak, and it's a perfect swing trade in the making. Last 10 days of profit booking, yes, and today is a day when the bounce has happened on fairly decent volumes. Let's also take a look on some stocks which are buzzing apart from the usual ones. I'll get into the high beta space. Schneider up 4.6% at 863. The counter is getting its mojo back. A company which is into the capital goods space on the electrification side, as also BHEL 3% higher. Prashantji, your views on Schneider and BHEL?
I think Schneider again, last 10 days back, it was at the same level, 850, 860 levels. So the last 4-5 days selling pressure, it has again bottomed out and again come back to the same levels. So for me, it's a good level to buy at this point of time. Again, considering the earnings show which is expected, a technical target can be 900, 920 for a short-term period.
Okay. Anything else that you watched apart from the stocks that I have mentioned?
I think Lupin was a stock which had a
Yes.
profit booking today, a 6% down from these levels. 3-4 days back, there was a news on US FD again. I think it's a good catch right now on the today's trade. A 6% discount, and I think 5-6% rally can happen in next 1 week. So one should look at this stock for a short-term swing trade.
Okay, on the long side.
Yes, on the long side.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the long-term chart of Lupin. This is a stock that I have continuously highlighted from 1700, 1800 rupee levels, and you have a mild profit booking today, but one of the finest stocks that have done phenomenally well over the last 1 year or so. You'll be surprised that in the beginning of January 2024, the stock was at 1400 rupees, and from then on the journey has been to yesterday's record high of 2300. So 700 on 1400 is, ladies and gentlemen, a 50% return in a span of 9 months. That's the kind of move that quality pharma stocks have given over the last 1 year or so. 3 p.m. ladies and gentlemen, let's take a detour into the F&O space and look at fertilizer stocks. Chambal up 1.75 rupees, 499. Early morning high was 512. You have Oberoi Realty from the real estate space doing pretty well. Early morning DLF was also up. RECL, this is a stock that I'll get Prashant to give his views on. A nice rise in open interest and uptick in price. RECL is buzzing on the charts on the green side. Prashant, would you have a view?
I think yes, technically I have a good strong view on this. Right now the stock is looking at heading towards 600 levels. It is almost crossing its mid variant of almost 550 levels. I think the close above 550 would be triggering almost another 10% upside from these levels. Overall, power sector is very much in action, and I think REC is a safer bet for a trader as well as a long-term investor. And in this power sector, I think Power Grid also is a good stock technically, which is looking very stronger for me at this point of time. And I think one should look at having a fresh trade in Power Grid today.
Okay. 3:01 p.m. ladies and gentlemen. Before we let you go, Prashant, a BTST or STBT for tomorrow?
I think Lupin should be the BTST call from me to go ahead for long term.
Okay. Fine. And any view on L&T and Tata Motors?
Tata Motors, I have been very much positive on that, but currently it is very much consolidating between 920 and 940 levels. So this should be the range. One should have a very accumulation trend right now. But I think considering the festival season going forward, the short-term target can be anywhere between 1000 rupees plus in Tata Motors, and L&T. I think it is again having a consolidation phase. We need to consider up to December for at least a 5 to 10% return on this.
With that, Prashant, thank you so much for your time. Festive greetings to everybody at Mehta Equities, and here's hoping that your chart picking gets better and better.
Thank you. Take care.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, at 3:02 p.m., the Nifty is still in the green, but slipped below 25,000. Let's hope the close is above 25,000, and it's the banks that are sort of in top shape, 545 points higher on the Nifty Bank, led by HDFC Bank and Kotak. Strong gains coming in there. Axis, ICICI, SBI, and the public sector banks, Canara, BOB, and PNB, also showing signs of a mild green tick. As good a time as any to welcome Mr. Sudeep Shah, Deputy Vice President and Head of Technicals and Derivatives Research at SBI Securities. सुदीप जी, बहुत दिन हुए आपसे मुलाकात किए हुए.
नहीं, बहुत दिन हो गए, बट इससे बेहतर मौका कहाँ पे जो हम दशहरा के 1 या 2 दिन पहले ही मिल रहे हैं.
क्या
It's a
बात.
festive season. So greetings to everyone, greetings to you, your family, everyone at BT Studios, and all our viewers.
Wonderful. Sudeep ji, let's begin our conversation as far as markets are concerned. This downtrend that is there as far as the Nifty is concerned in the last 1 week or so, is the worst behind us? Do you feel 24,700 will hold? And if yes, where do you think the Nifty is headed?
Shelji, what I feel is, see, what's happening is that we need to understand the context here, and what has happened is that the market had fallen in the last week on geopolitical concerns, and including Brent crude oil prices, which shot up from $70 to $80 a barrel. Now, what has happened is that Brent crude has once again cooled off. But the kind of shorting that has happened in Nifty, it will require a important trigger. It will require that trigger from a short covering perspective. So another point here is that what is happening on the Israel front, Iran front, it is still in a lingo. There's no certainty that the war is over, or it's still far from over. Rather than I should put it in that way. So till the time that uncertainty is not out of the window, at least for the next 5 to 7 trading sessions, we might be in a range between 24,700 and 25,300. And I feel my personal view here is that it's much better that we spend some time in this range, because the previous up move was very fast. And this downtrend also, this down move also of 1,300, 1,400 points was also in a matter of 3 to 4 days. So what's happening is happening very fast. So markets need to spend some time closer to this zone of 25,000, 24,800, 25,200, and individual stock picking would continue. So my view here is that while Nifty, Bank Nifty, we concentrate on all these levels. Now it's the result season which is more important. A lot of volatility would be there on account of the results, and stock, and one result in one stock could lead to momentum being driven in other stocks of the same sector also. So we need to be ready with those stocks, with those sectors which can do well. And I guess that would be the way to go in the next few weeks from here on.
Right. Sudeep, within your universe of tracked stocks, whether on a fundamental basis or on technical basis, maybe 1 or 2 names that you can share which are emerging stronger on the charts on the long side.
One stock which is breaking out on the upside is Tata Chemicals. Now, this stock has been consolidating, I guess, since December 2021, and zone of 1150, 1200. Every time the stock has approached there has been some selling pressure, or it has once again gone into a range. But the way the chart formations are happening here, we feel that this stock could do well in the coming few weeks. The second stock is a reversal candidate here, and there are in fact 3 stocks. So the second stock is a reversal candidate, which is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Now, after a series of downtrend right from July, from 5,600 to 4,200, stock retested its 200 DMA, and now we are seeing some kind of a base building happening here. So this stock, I guess, should be seen from a medium-term perspective and not an immediate buy or a sell recommendation. And one more stock which I feel now could start giving good returns, which is in an uptrend, is Indian Hotels. Now, with the festive season coming in, with a lot of holidaying season now for the next 3 to 4 months, I feel the hotel industry should do well. If you see the occupancy, if you see the average rates of per night compared to the last 3 years average, that has shot up magnificently. Now, if you or me, anyone is going out for a vacation, we know what kind of pinch it is when we were scouting for rooms 3 years back or 2 years back, and we are scouting for a hotel room in the coming 6 months. So, with our own experience, we know that this industry is doing well. So I feel this stock also, Indian Hotels, one of the leading stock in the hotel industry, should do well. And even on the derivative front, in the last 3 to 4 weeks, we have seen lot of strong build up on the long sides. Average delivery volumes have increased. So I feel this stock could continue doing well in the next couple of months also.
Right. So two stocks from the Tata stable that Sudeep feels will outperform not only the broader markets but offer smart entry levels are Indian Hotels and of course Tata Chemicals. Getting back to Nariman Point NCPA, there you see Chief Minister Mr. Chandrababu Naidu addressing media after paying his respects to Mr. Ratan Tata, and of course a host of other celebrities and luminaries there right in front of us. Just a minute ago you had actor Amir Khan with his wife Kiran Rao offering his respects to Mr. Ratan Tata, and Mr. Naidu is now addressing the contingent of media at the NCPA, where Mr. Ratan Tata's body is being kept for all and sundry to offer their respects. I'm just checking with the PCR if we can get to hear what Mr. Naidu is saying.
Everything they are there, and also is a very good human being, not only earning money, spending money for ethical way and also social cause he has fulfilled. When I request him to start one cancer hospital in Tirupati, he has done it. Even in Hyderabad, one cancer hospital, Baswa Tarakam, he has given some money. Like that, he has done his best. So it is my responsibility. We have lost great statesmen of this country, but his ideology remain forever. That is a great opportunity for everybody. Every citizen has to think about him. One person, how he has changed industry totally, including recently if you see Jamsheddi started Air India, again his dedication to bring back to Tata Group, he has achieved it. That is a great performance, and I personally had a lot of attachment towards him. I used to quote so many times, everybody can do business, but Tata is the best example for doing ethical business, doing business in a right way. He has made his company proud globally, $400 billion worth of the company. He provided 10 lakh jobs. That is the national contribution he has done. For all of us, we respect him. We had a high regard on him. The death of Ratan Tata ji is a great loss, but we have to carry his legacy. That legacy will be permanent. Thank you.
Thank you. I think nobody could have put it better than Mr. Chandrababu Naidu when he said that everybody can do business, but to do business in the way Mr. Ratan Tata did in terms of ethics and in terms of creating corporate social responsibility much before it became a necessary norm for corporate India is what puts Mr. Ratan Tata apart, as also the fact that he provided employment for more than 10 lakh people and created immense wealth for his shareholders in a manner that has not been emulated not only in India but anywhere in the world. So that is the rich lasting legacy that Mr. Ratan Tata has left behind us, and I am just reading a statement from Tata Consultancy Services, the flagship of the Tata Group, whose second quarter earnings are today. And this is what TCS writes. Mr. Tata's wisdom, compassion and commitment to uplifting the lives of millions made him revered across the world. His remarkable leadership, marked by a unique blend of humility and confidence, guided TCS through transformative global expansions. It is with a deep sense of service to the communities we operate in and the values we cherish. Mr. Tata had a rare gift of making those around him feel valued and heard, earning the admiration and respect of all who had the privilege of knowing him. His approach to leadership, paired with his genuine care for people, has left an indelible mark on every one of us. This is a statement that is coming in from the Tatas. Sudeep, would you like to react to this event, this very sad and somber event that has happened in corporate India today?
I was just some time back only reading one of his quotes, where he said very clearly that see, if you want to succeed, you can run fast, but if you want to be loved, if you want to be admired, and if you want the growth of everyone around you, you have to be together. You cannot keep on running alone. You have to be together. So that was one message which really had you don't feel like forgetting that, or you have to imbibe that thing. There was one more thing I was just reading some time back that
Sudeep, I'll just come back to you. It's Mr. Piyush Goyal who is addressing media.
Passionate about his work, simple in his lifestyle, rich in his values, and yet so humble that only last week when I was in New York at a Taj hotel, the lady who was running the lifts, the lift woman, was very proudly telling me that I am a friend of Mr. Ratan Tata and he had invited me to visit India. I have visited India for 1 week as a guest of Ratan Tata. The lift woman at one of their hotels. That was the character of the person. Of course, in the business world, he's left behind a legacy which will be very difficult for anybody to beat in many lifetimes. He started with great trial and tribulation. Of course, he worked his way up, no privileges. Right from the shop floor, his days in Tata Motors, running from one department to the other, days on the shop floor of Tata Steel. But his humaneness has remained with him throughout his life. So much so that when Tata Steel reduced some of their manpower, they made sure that every person who was not required got full salary for the rest of his working years. Despite very adverse circumstances, he made a mark for himself right from the beginning. He took the Tata name across continents. The acquisition of Chorus, the acquisition of Tetley in UK, the acquisition of Jaguar Land Rover was much debated, but he had the courage of conviction that India and Indians can succeed internationally. And each one of those companies is also today.
That's Mr. Piyush Goyal recalling his personal interaction with Mr. Ratan Tata, and of course enumerating all that this gentle giant had done, not only for the Tata Group but also for employees of the group, which I'm sure are amongst the saddest today. There are many instances that you can come across in the media, and I am 200% sure that a vast majority of his interactions are not even reported but are in the private space of the Tata Group companies, and each and every one of the group employees, I'm sure, has lost a family member with the demise of Mr. Ratan Tata. 3:18, ladies and gentlemen, we have 12 minutes left. The Nifty is slipping below 25,000, but let's just attribute it to the weekly pressure on the charts of the weekly expiry. Sudeep, coming back to you, let's talk about a good BTST and STBT trade.
See, from a BTSC perspective, I feel Samvardhan Motherson looks good. The stock is on an uptrend. In the last several sessions, we have seen some strong moves here. And today, from higher levels, although there is some profit booking, but I guess the trend is quite strong that in the next few days, we could see 216, 218. Currently, it is around 210. This can be bought with 206 as a stop loss on the downside. There's one more stock which I feel can do good. That we've already discussed it. So that also needs to be on the radar from a position perspective.
Samvardhana I got. What was the second one?
Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which we already
of course.
discussed.
Yes, Hindustan you've marked. Ladies and gentlemen, Hindustan Unilever, my apologies, Hindustan Aeronautics is around its 200-day moving average as of now. I'll request the PCR to file a slightly longer term chart, and you will see the stock has corrected from 5700 if I remember correctly. Yeah, 5600 all the way down to 44, and this is the 200-day moving average where Sudeep expects it to bounce back. 320 is what we have for the moment on the charts. Okay, the Nifty is back in the green and back above 25,000. Let's hope it rises very sharply in the next 10 odd minutes, so that on a average 30-minute chart you have 25,000 back in the green. Nifty Bank is the top performing index today, 507 points higher, a good 1 percentage point uptick on the first day of its weekly expiry. And let's look at the broader markets as well. The Nifty Financial Services 1 percentage point higher. Metals index is back in the reckoning, 0.5% higher. These are the top three sectoral performers, with the IT, FMCG and the Nifty PSU banking index slipping. Also in the red is the mid cap index. I wouldn't be worried about it, just 0.33% lower, but the small cap index has remained resilient, up 0.2%. And let's look at the NSE 500 also in the green, flat but in the green, and that is what is interesting. Sudeep, your thoughts on how today's trade has panned out. There isn't much of volume to talk about. Reliance has traded 2,900 crores, HDFC Bank a normal 1,700 crores. You have a strong move coming into Tata Chem on very good volume, which you've already marked, and of course ICICI and Kotak also showing signs of resilience. Low volume, fairly okay trade. In the green is Nifty and in the green is Bank Nifty.
Actually, what I feel is what is happening is that, as I said, that post that big fall in the last week, day before yesterday on Wednesday, we saw on Tuesday we saw a strong move from the lower levels of 24,750, 24,770, which was an important Fibonacci retracement also and an important moving average. So post that, last 2 days Nifty is trying to hold on to that rebound and the gains made in that candle. And now for me, what is the most critical number is 25,200. That needs to be crossed, else every move could face volatility at higher levels. We need to see a close about 25,200, because post that we could start seeing some kind of a traction back, and the next few days would really be a key to that. Now you have all loads of these IT biggies coming out with their numbers. TCS, Infosys, all these IT stocks. Now, that index is itself very important, and next 3 to 5 sessions would really be a trend changer here for the next couple of weeks. So 25,200 on the upside will remain an important resistance. And as we shared in the beginning of the show, 24,700, 24,800, which is that Fibonacci retracement number of this entire up move, because that is the most important support going forward.
Fair point. And on TCS, I have this gut feel that they will announce record profits. Let us see. Late evening is the earnings, but fair point on IT. And of course, as you mark Hindustan Aeronautics, I'll just say that this is a trend that is there in the market today. Mazgaon is up 8.6%. This is the top traded counter in the BSC 500. Garden Reach is up 6%. There are smart gains that are coming in on Cochin Shipyard, 2.5% higher. BEML and BDL are up 4 and 5 percentage points respectively. So this is a trend across the sector that is coming in. Just 6 minutes left for markets to close today. We just see a downtick on IT index, which Sudeep says nothing to be worried about. Sudeep, just very quietly, yesterday Infosys hit a record high. Would you analyze the charts for Infosys on the medium term?
Just a minute. Yeah, so Infosys was hitting a record high, it has just slipped by 1.5%. And along with hitting a record high, it did not close at those higher levels. So the closing was still below 1960, 1965, where the previous 1975 was the high in September 2024. 2nd September was that day. And yesterday, it's just it was just a couple of more rupees above that the previous high. So on a price perspective, price point perspective, yes, it did hit a new high, but the closing was still below the previous highest close. So that is very important. We need to see that the stock closes above 1975 and creates a highest record closing, and then from there the trend could change. So it is in a bullish uptrend. It is underlying trend on the weekly as well as the monthly charts from a medium term perspective is quite strong.
Yes.
But yes, in the last 1.5 to 2 months, we are seeing that consolidation between 1870, 1880 on the downside and 1960, 1965 on the upside. So this could still consolidate because we could see the result reactions of TCS today on Infosys tomorrow. And overall, any dip to, if we get closer to 1900, 1890, this should be this stock should be added with the 1850 stop loss. So I guess that the downside of the consolidation range, the bottom of the consolidation range is somewhere closer to 1860, 1870. So that could act as a stop loss, and we could see a reversal post any dip. If at all it happens because of the TCS numbers tomorrow.
Okay. I'll request the PCR to again show the footage at NCPA grounds. I think four-legged friend of Mr. Ratan Tata just came to offer his, how should I say, wishes to Mr. Tata. Mr. Tata was a very well-known animal lover. He had set up a state-of-the-art hospital just 5-6 months ago to take care of animals of all sorts. And for those of us who have been following the workings of Bombay House, the headquarters of the Tata Group in Fort area in Mumbai, they know for a fact that all strays are welcome. In fact, they are the masters of the universe in that building, and you see lots of comfort, air-conditioned rooms, food and water being provided to dogs in the vicinity of the Nariman Point, the fort headquarters of the Tata Group. This footage was just 20-25 seconds ago, where a black dog had come in. Of course, he was leashed. He offered his respects to Mr. Ratan Tata. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's start wrapping up today's trade. I think at 3:30 p.m. or 3:35, 3:45 p.m., Mr. Ratan Tata's body will be taken to Worli crematorium, and he will then be consigned to the elements. With that, let's end the show. Let me for the last time read out the stellar performance of what the Tata Group companies have done today. Is that a mark of respect to their departed chairman? Only time will know. But of the 24 listed companies, you have Tata Investment, their holding company, up 5.5% at 69.14. Tata Tele Maharashtra is 5.3% higher. You have Tata Chemicals, something that Sudeep just pointed out as one of the breakout stocks, 3.8% higher at 1148. Tata Elxsi up 1%, and another stock that Sudeep pointed out was Indian Hotels, consolidating their near record highs, 705.55, 1.7% higher. There are a host of stocks from the Tata Group which are in the green: Tata Technologies, Tata Power, Tejas Net, Tata Communications, Tata Steel, all of them rallying and bidding goodbye to their chairman. The markets, ladies and gentlemen, the Nifty will close above 25,000 on its weekly expiry day, up 28 points, driven primarily by the very sharp rally in banking stocks such as HDFC, up almost 1.8%, Kotak Mahindra Bank up 4%, Axis Bank and ICICI Bank adding to the green side, and of course amongst the public sector peers, Canara Bank, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda and PNB bringing up a fine show. We will be watching out for the earnings of TCS later in the evening. The counter has slipped 0.5% lower at 42.27. With that, ladies and gentlemen, today's coverage draws to a close on this very somber note as corporate India bids goodbye to its titan Ratan Tata. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching us. News continues on the other side, and non-stop coverage of Mr. Tata's final goodbye will be there on Business Today. Thank you, Sudeep, for your time.
Provided and began restructuring the Tata Group in 1991. Under his leadership, the group acquired high-profile international brands like Tetley Tea, Daewoo, Chorus Steel and Jaguar Land Rover. He was also the man behind Tata Nano, the company's small car project, which he hoped would give wheels to the middle class. The journey, however, was not easy and tested his mettle at every turn. First, he had to deal with the satraps, a legacy left by his uncle J.R.D. Tata. Rusi Modi lorded over Tata Steel. Darbari Seth was the final voice at Tata Tea and Tata Chemicals. Ajit Kerkar was the force behind Indian Hotels. And Nani Palkhiwala was the man behind ACC. Each considered these companies their fiefdoms and looked at Ratan Tata as another outsider they had to deal with. 6 years after taking over as the Tata Group chairman, all four of them had resigned. Ratan also wielded the broom on several companies. He exited cement, textiles and cosmetics and focused his energies on software, telecom, finance and retail. Finally, after serving as group chairman for 21 years, Ratan Tata retired in December 2012. He had spent 50 illustrious years with the Tata Group. An avid aviator, Tata was awarded the Padma Vibhushan, the country's second highest civilian honour, by the Government of India in 2008. The humble, reclusive industrialist was also known for his philanthropic work. Till his death, he served as the chairman of the Tata Trusts, which are amongst India's oldest non-sectarian philanthropic organizations that work in several areas of community development. The proudest moment for him, perhaps, in recent years was bringing Air India back home to the Tata fold. And while he aimed to touch the skies, his other love was dogs. Doors of even the Bombay house were open to strays all day long.
By saying you don't know what it's like to be lonely until you spend time alone, wishing for companionship. I also feel that you don't mind getting old until you get old, and then you find it's a different world, and a world of genuine feelings for one another, and the good-natured companionship that we all take for granted. I found that it takes a lot more than that. I'd like to say a couple of words about Goodfellows. Clearly, Shantanu doesn't like the work that he's got in my office, so he looks for dogs that need companionship, elder people that need companionship, mustard green dress. I don't know what you call them, salwar kameez. And this gives me a chance to see what he's doing when he's not in the office. Seriously though, I salute this effort. I think people that have seen a major part of their life unfurled before them need and enjoy the companionship that is there without I'll do this for you if you do this for me. Instead, basically, a fondness for the companionship of each other, giving of one's time and one's effort to make another person's happiness more secure. So I'd like to salute Shantanu and all of you who made a commitment to this, which you didn't have to do, and you have done it in your own time. And I think, barring the name Goodfellows, it actually reflects on just that good fellows, companion, there at moments of loneliness, happiness, which is a genuine feeling that comes from within. And to me, the wonderful thing that I feel is that a group of young, intelligent people who could do other things, and many of them in the past have done things of that nature for themselves, are here collected to teach and to give companionship to others, seeking nothing in return except the happiness that you caused to have happen. So I forgive Shatana for not being at work, and I wish all of you great happiness that you derive from what you have started. I'm sure it will grow in intensity and grow in terms of image.
TCS, the flagship of the group, announces its second quarter earnings. What are you looking forward to with TCS in particular, and broadly with the second quarter earnings for corporate India? What is your research telling you?
So, Shail, I think for TCS, the major area to look out for the new contract wins, and particularly in the area of computing, and also in the area of artificial intelligence, and the use cases that they are building on the top of it from some of the large customers. Up till now, in last few quarters, I think they've shown remarkably large orders if they won. So they may probably be not as many as I think we would have imagined it to be. But the fact is that I think they've won some of the large orders and that to execute it over a period of 5 to 7 years. So that gives you the visibility.
हाँ बराबर आओगे बाद में।
सर साइड भाई
इधर आना यार, इतना टाइम इधर आना, पीछे।
ये मोबाइल सर, ये मोबाइल को साइड में कीजिए। ये मोबाइल मुंबई
का बैग थोड़ा
ऑन है